One of the things you need to think about as you leave here is, how does debt make me rich?
He didn't know what an air medal was. Air medal just meant how many round trips did you take into combat and came back alive. That's all it means. It doesn't mean I was a hero or anything, because I wasn't. We're just happy to bring my crew back alive. That's all we cared about. But to get to that level of flying is the same as investing. And I think that's what I really learned, is the dedication, not to be the best pilot, but be the best that I could be. And if I'm not the best that I can be, people die. And a lot of people, it's okay to be average, if you know what I mean. But when you get into that situation, when you're going in and out of combat zones, I went down 3 times, but I wouldn't be back today if I hadn't practiced to be the best. And so when I go into the world of money and investing, I'm still not, I'm not Zuckerberg or those guys. You still have to be the best you can be.
Let's be honest. We would all like to be rich. In the end, it's all about the steps you take to get there that make all the difference. Education is important, but the type of education is what matters. We're all familiar with an academic education, as in going to school or university. But there is also professional education, as in you see with your work, and more importantly, financial education. Excelling at academic and professional education can earn you a paycheck, but a financial education can earn you money 24/7. And to be smart financially, you need to know what the smart investments are. Starting a business and buying real estate are always good bets, but they aren't very liquid and can be hard to separate from. Stocks, bonds, and savings are liquid, but may not give as big of a return. Commodities, like oil, can bring big tax breaks to minimize loss. Decide for yourself what the best combination of those assets are that may work for you. Of course, with money, or the lack of it, there are always 2 sides to the story. The wealthiest people don't work for money, and some of the poorest people work the hardest for it. It is the yin and the yang of financial independence, in that both can be equally important. They play off of each other, and without one, you can't have the other. What truly matters is simply being the best that you can possibly be, even if you aren't the best in the world. Investing is a lot like this as well. You may never be the next Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg, but by giving it your all, you may just become rich.
A lot of people get financial advice from outsiders. If maybe a financial planner, a stockbroker, or a real estate broker, but they're not on the inside of the deal. And one of the reasons I like being an entrepreneur and being a real estate guy is I'm always trading from the inside. I know the deal. I'm part of the deal. I am the deal. But the average person who buys like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, and saves money, they're outsiders. They have no idea what's going on between them and the real world of inside. One of the things I suggest to people, you gotta find a real teacher versus a fake teacher. And a fake teacher is somebody who doesn't do what they teach. And a real teacher is doing what they teach every day. So my accountants, my attorneys, they're in it every single day. That's how I learn, because every day I'm solving problems in my business. So I have accountants and attorneys and bankers and all these people on speed dial because I'm solving problems with my team. Yeah, every time I failed, it was like, good. I said, okay, what have I learned? And the average person, the reason they're poor is they haven't failed. They play it so safe. They haven't made any mistakes like they taught in school. That means they don't learn anything.
And so a liability takes money from your pocket. What's the definition of liability? Takes money from your pocket. So the reason people are afraid of losing a job is because they have liability they think are assets. So they keep going to work. Does that make sense, you guys here? So the other mistake that people make, they do, is because they think their house is an asset. Buy a big house, it'll going to appreciate. They have as a mortgage. Stands for mortgages. So they have a big house, and especially here in Auckland, they have the big boat. Then they have the BMW and the Lexus, stuff like this. And so what's out? I call this little diarrhea. They cannot stop. It goes out constantly, 24/7. Again, this is the real game, cash flow games. This is the piece de la resistance. was awarded by the U.S. Patent Office based on financial statement.
And it's really simple, you know. My poor dad always said to me, go to school and get a high-paying job. That's not wealth. That's a job. You can get fired, you know. And then my rich dad always says, work for assets. So there's basically 4 asset classes that makes a person rich, and there's lots of more, the subheadings and all this. But number 1 is a business. The richest young guys today start companies. It's called Facebook, Google, Apple, stuff like that, you know. Number 2 is real estate. So what my rich dad taught me is a combination of being an entrepreneur in business and entrepreneur in real estate. It's that combination is I pay no tax and I make a lot more money. So a lot of guys say, well, I have a business. I say, well, how much real estate you got? Without real estate, you pay tax. That's the problem. And then there's paper, which is stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and savings. That's what most people should be in. The reason savings are good, I mean, paper is good, like stocks, bonds, mutual funds are liquid. You make a mistake and get in and out real quick. Called liquid. The trouble with these two, you make a mistake, you're there forever. Can't get in and out. So that's why you gotta be very smart before you go in. And the last is commodities. And you know, that's why I own oil. And as the price of oil goes down, people say, are you losing money? I said, no, because in the US, if you deal in oil, you get tax breaks. So I invest $1 million in oil, I get 800,000 back. So I get 80% return day 1. So oil is very, very profitable. That's what, but I don't invest in oil stocks. Very different. Okay, so if oil goes to $20 a barrel, I'm still cash flowing, I'm still making money.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content.